Doesn't give you a countdown or anything. Okay. And we're live. We're back on Skype and we are in video form. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. Anthony, can I get a proper intro?
Yeah, hey, welcome to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, the producer Anthony, along with co-hosts Tommy and Theron. T-Money is all the way from Texas. Crazy times as always. And yeah, I've just been rotting my brain with Red Dead Redemption 2, trying to get my mind into the Old West and out of what's happening here in the crazy streets of Portland. But yeah,
if you ride a horse through downtown, are you okay? Will it not like the government won't take you away and take away your rights?
They promote you to ultimate citizen.
You become honorary sheriff.
You get a key to the city.
This guy has a horse. I have to respect him. He knows what he's doing. There, what are you doing on your phone? I'm curious. Man.
I was quickly reading the notes for wrestling. I was just reading the rumor roundup and seeing what happened because I just got home from work, so I didn't get to watch it.
Instagram models roundup.
How did you know that I was looking at that right before I looked at Cage Side Seats? That's exactly what I did. How did you know that? Who are you?
I've known you for 22 years, my friend.
Who are you working?
Oh no! All right.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. You caught me.
I missed out, you guys. All right.
Wait, what's going on?
What happened?
Oh no! You guys Skyped out, and then my connection got lost, and then I popped back in, and it was laughter. I don't know what happened.
No, man, we're just talking about taking selfies during the protests in Atlanta. Not Atlanta, in Portland. Do you see that one where like the girl's like naked and she's just sitting down? That viral.
Yeah. Was that in Portland?
I think that was in Portland. I don't know. Theron, Anthony is Skyped up the pure shock of a naked woman. And over there, man.
He froze. He's back.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was in Portland, man. That was like a viral sensation.
I saw it on like the internet. I didn't really look at the video, but I saw the headline.
I saw the headline too. I was like, wow. All right, cool.
Got to get your point across somehow. Well, wait. There was the woman that was like twerking. And then there was another woman, I think. There's been a few women that have been naked in public lately. It's kind of scary. I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
That's the way to get your if you're going to protest, man. I don't know. I guess get your point across.
I guess whatever floats your boat, right?
Desperate times, man. I got to go deep in the playbook right now, man. Yeah. Go on page 247. It says get naked and protest.
That'll show the popo.
Yeah, exactly, man. Defund the police through nakedness.
Oh man, defund the police. That's crazy. Who's going to protect us and get our cats out of trees and such if we defund the police?
That's the fire department, sir.
Yes, you're right. The fire. Well, who's gonna stop that unruly drunk guy from peeing on my patio?
I don't think the police are going to come down there. I don't think they're not going to be very efficient, man.
Interesting.
I think the idea of it, the thing is, I think it was the Daily Show.
I think the police would.
Oh man, poor Anthony's making so many good points. I heard on John Oliver or the Daily Show that they said like they should take traffic stops away from the police because that's like wasting all their time, and then they can focus on other stuff, like
speeding tickets and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do speeding tickets. Don't do like clocking people. Just freelance that out to someone else, like the meter maids or whatever. And if you're speeding or doing a traffic thing, they'll send you something in the mail. So they won't pull you over, and they'll prevent a lot of stuff, and they'll free the police up to do other more important things. They think they waste a lot of time on like traffic stops and like speeding tickets.
I agree with that. There's always a cop just sitting with a gun somewhere on some highway. Like you don't have anything else you could be doing right now. Anything?
The cop's version of scrolling Instagram at work.
Yeah, for sure. What are we on today? What are we talking about? Where are we at?
Yeah, am I on? Hello?
Yeah, you are.
Gosh. What's going on in Portland, man? There's like an unmarked van parked outside your house, like messing up your internet right now.
I guess, man. Gee whiz, I'm just a working guy. I'm just trying to help people. And I guess people hanging out.
Oh, he froze.
We get people who like empty their. What is going on?
gonna be a long night.
That's a very cool jacket right there, though. I must
Yeah,
say.
man. Respect the producer's fashion game. It's
Right.
progressing every week.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a T-shirt.
Me too, man.
Brought to you by Beverly Hills Polo Club.
Beverly Hills Polo Club.
That was an illegal shameless plug right there.
All right, is this better? Is this better? We live?
We should let Anthony talk until he can't talk anymore.
Oh my gosh, crazy! So no, let's just jump into wrestling. So just in case if I Skype out, I won't have to tell a story and catch back up. I have no idea what's happening in pro wrestling right now, except for that Keith Lee is the double champ, and apparently he has to but give up his relinquish, I should say, his North American title in a 3-way ladder match.
Wow, I didn't hear that. Wait, that's breaking news.
That just happened tonight. I guess that was the announcement. I didn't get to read it. What do you mean relinquish? Like he has to? Well, why did he win it in the first place? Hello, guys.
No, man, Anthony made a really good point. And then he got froze. Yeah, man, I'd like to see him. Why can't he have a run with it? Like Becky and Becky really didn't have a run with the 2 belts, but
What about Bailey Dostraps? I mean, she's been the SmackDown champ 400 days combined, and then the tag champs maybe like 2 months.
I think she won it from Charlotte, man. Yeah.
Yeah, she did, right? Was that when she cashed in?
Oh, might have been, yeah. Damn.
No, Charlotte's been champ a lot. Great work, by the way, Bailey Dostraps and 2 belts Banks, or not so 2 belts Banks. But back to Anthony's point before we get away from it. So if Anthony can hear me, there's a tournament, I think, right? There's going to be like a 3-way ladder match for the North American title. He is frozen again. So he said, yeah. I think that's what I saw. I didn't.
That's cool, man. I can make a new star that way.
Oh well, Bronson Reed's going to be in the match. It's a triple X ladder match, but there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be 5 people in the match, from what I can see in this graphic right here. Bronson Reed, blah blah blah. It's going to take place at the next takeover in Boston. Well, it'll be in Florida.
That's where SummerSlam was supposed to be.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the homecoming for Sasha Banks, and
maybe a surprise appearance by John Cena.
Wait, oh yeah, because that's where he's from. Yeah,
and Newberry. Yeah,
this looks like a good match. There's going to be another triple threat. It's going to be the Prince, Finn Balor, Timothy Thatcher, and Dexter Lumis. Do either of you know who any of those guys are besides Finn Balor? If you don't, I can tell you real quick.
I know Timothy Thatcher had like a MMA match with like Matt Riddle. It was like some cage match. I really wanted to see that, but I never.
It was good. He beat him. Yeah. I mean, that was like Riddle's send off to SmackDown. Dexter Lumis. You guys don't watch. You guys have probably never watched Impact, but he came around. Okay, he did this thing in Impact. It was like he was like a stalker. I don't know if you remember Christy Hemme. She used to be like a ring announcer. So he did like this angle where he was like stalking her for a while, and then he popped up in
name in Impact.
I can't remember. That's what's
Lexter Dumas.
Let's Google it.
Look at that, man. Yeah, Dexter Lumis is a horrible. I mean, that's just like I feel like you're just putting a cap on that guy. That's like the Dolph Ziggler of the.
Oh, poor Dolph.
Man. It's like there's a ceiling for him just because he has a stupid, goofy name like Zack Ryder.
Dolph Ziggler's ceiling is because he's short, apparently, or something. I forget.
I thought Vince McMahon didn't like his hair.
That's what it is. It's his hair. You're right.
So he has like 700 different hairstyles, man.
Remember when he cut it? I don't know if you remember. He was with Vicky Guerrero, and I think he was the U.S. champ. And all of a sudden, he came out, and his hair was black, and I think he might have had a mustache. He might have looked like Robert Roode, but I don't remember if he had the mustache. And he had Dolph Ziggler. He cut his hair. This must have been like 2000. This was right around when I started watching again. It was probably
2010 or 2009 or something, right?
Yeah, he was with Vicky Guerrero. She was his valet. And all of a sudden, he had cut his hair, and they did like this thing. It was like a presentation of the new Dolph Ziggler. But he just explained that the reason Vince didn't like him was because of his hair. Like recently, he said that in like a shoot interview or whatever.
Ouch.
That's why he has never gotten over. Samuel Shaw. That was his name in Impact.
That's right.
Doesn't ring a bell, but sure.
Yeah. Hey man, Impact's making waves. They're out here signing big free agents.
They are, man. They went on a spending spree.
They got. I don't know where they have all this money.
That's a good point too, man. Yeah, they got no fans. Subpar TV deal.
Yep.
Slinging $40 pay-per-views. Anthony got a point about Impact.
What happened? Well, before you say that, what happened? I know that they got rid of Michael Elgin. I know the Speak Up Now thing. Cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah, what happened with Tessa Blanchard? Like, why does anyone know?
I think first of all, she was hard to deal with. Everyone in the locker room hated her. She's reportedly used a racial slur.
Okay.
Way back. That was like 7 or 8 months ago. That came out on Twitter. But then,
I remember that.
Yeah. Then she got quarantined in Mexico, and she just didn't want to come back. So I guess her boyfriend's down there, and then I think her deal was coming up anyway in July, and they're just like, if you don't want to come back and drop the title, then just get to step in. Yeah.
Okay. You go and you do this whole thing where you are the first woman to be the heavyweight champion, and then I'm just gonna job it. I'm gonna phone it in like Randy Orton in a SummerSlam match versus the Big Show.
Yeah, man, that was weird. Anthony,
sorry.
Yeah. So real quick before I Skype out, so I gotta like tag in real quick. So I just want to say that Impact is now basically on par, if you think about it, audience-wise, with every other promotion.
True.
So
very true.
They're all playing to audienceless crowds, and so now it's really based on story. So could this be a revival for Impact? Perhaps, right?
Maybe.
And they've been, I think, running a kind of a small ship for the long while. So again, now that WWE has been brought to its knees essentially with COVID and AEW and so my thing is that everybody's now on the same playing field, playing to the same audiences of limited capacity. So stories are plentiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, man, because the COVID era might be remembered if Impact has like a good surge here and signs up, like they signed 6 or 7 dudes. What's that? Eric Young, EC3, Kurt Hawkins, Andersons and Gallows. That's the Eric Young already.
The Motor City Machine Guns came back.
Chris Sabian's back in the fold. Diana Perazzo or whatever.
She's already the champ.
Yeah, she's already the champ. I mean, they've sound like 7 or 8 dudes. I think maybe another part of this is that NWA kind of like folded.
They said Billy Corgan, he put out something. I didn't read it, but I don't. It sounded like they had to go out of business, but I don't know if it's like
it's the Speak Up movement again, because they're.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Dave Lagana, or I didn't probably butchering his last name, but yeah, he's the guy who rebooted it with Billy Corgan, and I guess he used to be a writer for WWE, then Ring of Honor, and then he just did this NWA reboot, and it was going good, and he had his vision and everything, but then.
What happened?
Apparently, I guess he's out in LA. He had a thing for inviting 16, 17-year-old girls out to LA to like mentor them. And you know what happens next, man. Creepy 40-something dude creeping on teenagers, and he got called on by multiple people, yeah. So
he went R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Or Epstein. I don't know.
It went to pro wrestling basically. There's so many people.
I'm still
Elgin,
baffled
Ryan,
by that. I'm still baffled by that whole thing because I believe it happened. I know there's a lot of sick people out there. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I'm just so shocked by the people that are brought up in it. Like the Elgins, now I'm drawing a blank.
Joey Ryan,
that's who it was. People like that, and then all these other people, behind the scenes, and I'm just like, wow, dude, like your career just ruined like that. Like you may never get to wrestle again. You probably won't get to perform again. I mean, if these allegations are true, It's just insane.
I would be shocked if Joey Ryan or Michael Elgin or some of these guys ever. Jack Gallagher's probably gonna take like at least 2 or 3 years
Jack
off.
Gallagher,
man.
You can't recover. You can't blame the victim in any way, right? Because a teenager is usually easily influenced, and then if this is your shot to make it or not make it or be featured, it's like what are you going to do if you're a young person? You're going to probably take the opportunity. You're probably naive. You don't know any better.
Yeah.
So, It's still crazy. But yeah, TNA went ham.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
They signed so many people, man. I was like, geez. And this is what I thought of it. I'm like, I'm looking at the storyline. So you got Eric Young. I guess his new character is like the god of wrestling. I guess that's how they're presenting him. EC3 is like, I think it's like create your own narrative kind of thing. I think they renamed Kurt Hawkins. Heath Slater's just Heath.
I forgot about Heath Slater, man. Yeah, Buffalo Slater.
Slater's gone.
Yeah, he showed up at Slammiversary. He couldn't get in, and then Rhino was like, "Come back on Tuesday." I guess their show's on Tuesday nights. I don't know what channel. And he went
Slater
back.
and Rhino back together. Oh my god.
He was trying to get in. They wouldn't let him in, so I guess they're running an angle where he can't get in. And then the Good Brothers are there too. But it just seems like, just like that, they're in these pretty interesting storylines, and then all their time in WWE was just wasted. Like Eric Young was cool when he was with Sanity. That could have went somewhere. Heath Slater, I think, is much more talented than people know. All those guys. I'm just like, man,
Yeah,
they just needed a chance.
Yeah, that's 6 WWE dudes plus Deanna from NXT, man.
Right.
Yeah, Peraza. So I mean, that's 7 people right to your main roster for Impact. And
are you shocked AEW didn't sign any of them besides FTR? Oh shoot.
Anthony, what do you have to say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if NWA was gone. What about Nick Aldis?
Yeah, he's gonna go back to being a boring wrestler somewhere else with 30-minute rest holds, and
he never lost his title.
Him and Bobby Roode could wrestle for my least favorite wrestler.
Did Bobby Roode get released in the cuts? I think he's still on the roster.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's stuck in Canada because he's Canadian. I don't know.
He might be. It's like Pac. Where's Pac been, man? I miss Pac.
Yeah, Pac's, he's stuck in England. Yeah, he's stuck over UK, man. Yeah, I think Tony Khan got asked about that in an interview a couple weeks, or maybe last week. Yeah, Pac is just stuck. They don't want to bring him back, and like him being stuck here, or him not be able to like get stuck, or
gotcha.
Yeah, wherever. So yeah, he's that's kind of I guess that's kind of good for AEW. They kind of get like some money in their pocket whenever he comes back.
Yeah, he's a good storyline. I like his character. Another guy that was in WWE that they kind of tapped into the Pac character, but not enough, And it was on 205 Live, which
it was the Neville level, dude.
Yeah, it was Neville, man. They wanted to make him Mighty Mouse. I'm like, what the?
God, just horrible idea. I was gonna say, Theron brought up a good point that now that these like 6 or 7 free agents are off the board, does that open up like Rusev and Zack Ryder to automatically go to AEW? Like, could they get those two? Or I'm trying to think who else is out there. But yeah, man,
I would be fascinated to see what happens with Zack Ryder wherever he goes. It'd be interesting to see him as a different character beyond Zack Ryder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That guy he's talented, man. He's got a decent creative mind behind him. So I could see what he do without the reins on him, like without let the dog run in the yard for free. Let's see where he goes.
I would like to see him be really heel. I would love to see an evil Zack Ryder.
Dude, people would want to boo him, man. People would want to boo him, dude. That's what sucks, man. There's no crowd right now, dude. No crowd.
There's no crowd. It's interesting. It's like the baseball starting back up. They've been scrimmaging, no fans. It's weird. NBA, the first scrimmages were on today. There's no fans, and it's bizarre. That's a word. That's what I borrowed. I borrowed that from Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. I watched all of The Last Ride like the other day. Really good documentary, by the way. That's the best way to describe COVID-19. Is just bizarre.
The best way to describe my favorite D12 member.
Is he really your favorite D12 member?
No, man. I don't know. Who's the other? Who's the other? That's the only one I remember.
That's the only name I remember too. Proof. Group. R.I.P. Proof. Yeah, they were terrible.
Oh man, real name, no gimmicks. That's
gotta push.
Oh man. Yeah, this is bizarre, man. Yeah, like Major League Baseball's got like cardboard cutout fans.
Oh, that's right. They're doing that, right? You can pay for a cutout of yourself to be in the stands at the game.
That's what they're doing. You can pay for it?
Or maybe you don't pay. Maybe if you have season tickets, you are offered I think you're offered the chance to take a picture. You send in the picture, and then they put your picture in the stands. And
That's pretty amazing, man. And
yeah,
another thing I saw, like through the MLB app, you can while you're watching the game, you can press boo or cheer, and then like the stadium volume will go up and down depending on like it'll connect to like whoever's running the stadium volume, and they'll bring it up or down.
that's interesting. That
Oh.
it's creating what it's done is create new innovative ways to come up with
Yeah.
to entertain the masses. Like, I mean, I guess fan interaction would be the best word.
Interesting. Boo.
Right. You just keep
Keep
pressing the
pressing it,
boo.
spamming it. Yeah.
You're just trolling. Oh,
That's for at in entertainment right now, man. It's been since March.
Gosh.
You're craving it,
how
man.
how are we doing with the cases in general? I guess I've stopped looking at the news. I don't know
Man,
what to think anymore. I watched this funny dude named Trey Kennedy. He did like a whole thing about it, and basically his comedy thing was where I am. No one knows what's going on. I think we're in phase 4 of.
last
of
last time we were in phase 2 or something. Phase 1. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what phase we're in anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cases are up, down. I don't know if the death toll's up. I don't know if it's down. I mean, I told you guys we had someone that had it at work. I didn't get it. I was negative. Everyone that was there was negative. So just that one person got it.
Mhm.
One of my other good buddies in Arizona, him and his whole family got it.
Damn.
But they're all recovered. All these people are recovered. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the only thing I know is like the next controversy is like what to do with schools. Like, are they gonna open back up, or how are they gonna open back up? They're gonna open up 50% capacity. Like, people take turns each day to go to school, or are they gonna do it all like on Zoom?
Is this universities or just schools in general?
Just schools in general, I think. Yeah, I don't know about universities. Yeah, it seems like college universities are better equipped to do remote stuff, so they're like kind of like just punting on the fall semester or whatever. But yeah, like grade school and high school, like what are they gonna?
Oh man,
I think that's the next controversy. Like people want to send their kids, and people don't want to send their kids, and I think that's the next controversy. Yeah.
so off if you're like an athlete or something going into your senior year, and you're just like, "This is my year, man," and then
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah,
COVID.
California like put all their fall and winter sports into spring. They bumped them all.
In any category, like all grades and
Yeah,
professional.
Football, basketball is all in spring now.
These are high school sports.
Yeah, high school. Yeah, high
Oh,
school.
wow. So
Yeah.
that what they're doing is they're just pushing things out and hoping that it'll get better.
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
It's like Vince McMahon. He's not really concerned with the ratings right now. He's obviously well off. He's just kind of thinking it'll be better when the fans are there, and he's planning to try to have fans in September. And I'm like, as the months go on, it's not looking like that's gonna happen.
It was like June or May was what we're talking about. But the thing about WWE with their big misstep here, they had their chance, they had their captive audience, they had their they never stopped, and they had their run up, and now real sports are coming back, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, football, basketball, baseball, that's all going to be converging at one. And now WWE had its chance to be under the spotlight, and they totally blew it. Ratings have been sinking. Less people have been watching. More people are going away and skipping on it. It's like they had the captive audience, and they just farted into the mic, and that was their entertainment. That's your entertainment.
AEW's been killing NXT like week in and week out, I guess.
Yeah. I think AEW is a little better, a little more.
Just a smidge, you know. I mean, because you're still looking for like the characters. I mean, they've only been around for like a year. Well, not even a year. They've only been around since
here in October. Yeah, end of October. Yeah.
But you know, what was I gonna say? Like, it just seems like they put on better. But I don't know. It's just the show is more entertaining. I mean, you have Le Champion, Chris Jericho, he is the GOAT, by the way. Anthony, I decided about because when he gets on the mic, he just delivers. He can go and announce, and he's just hilarious when he's an announcer. He can get in the ring, give you a 5-star match, he put over Orange Cassidy, and then you tune into NXT. It's cool. Keith Lee's the champion, but I don't know. It's just not as grabby. I'm not as grabbed by that. I'm not gravitating towards it.
It's got WWE stank on it. That's why, man. I think the main roster's been so bad. It's kind of now that all three have been like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT are all on TV every week. It's kind of like that Monday Friday stank is like creeping over to Wednesday. It's like, oh man, like this company messes up so much on two out of their three shows. Like, when's it gonna happen in NXT? And I think people are just like, oh man, I'm not gonna give NXT a chance because I'm so frustrated with Raw and SmackDown.
And they got a lot of talent down there or over there in NXT too. So maybe when the fans come back, whenever that is, maybe it'll get better, or maybe when more of the wrestlers are available, maybe. But I don't know.
That's true, man. Full Sail University and that crowd really that was like part of NXT's appeal because they had such a passionate fan base, and just take that away from them really might hurt them more than Raw and SmackDown.
True. Yeah. Well, do you know who is good on WWE is Bailey Doe Straps and Two Belts Banks. That's like the best storyline on their programming right now because they wrestle like on all three shows. I swear they wrestle on SmackDown. Man. They're on Raw. They're on NXT sometimes. And Bailey's. I like her. She grew on me. She started off real slow. Now she's just great. She's hilarious. You know what I mean? She's doing the things. So kudos to them. Are we going to talk about Extreme Rules and the crapshoot that was? I fell asleep.
I totally forgot that even happened.
I fell asleep.
That's my comment.
I fell asleep. Literally went 2003 LSU versus Oklahoma Sooners and just fell asleep through the whole show.
It was a boring game too as well. I wanted to go back and watch it, man, but then I read the reviews and nothing really popped out at me. Nothing the only thing I kind of wanted to do was Banks versus Asuka, but other than that, Strowman versus Wyatt in a swamp match, it didn't sound very appealing.
They did. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, WWE had their graveyard match and they had the Funhouse match. They kind of shot their bullets out. Then they had nothing left in the chamber after that, creatively. So I don't know. You want to talk about that match there?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I've been wanting to watch it, but I'm just I don't know. I heard it wasn't as good as the other two, and I don't. But okay, so the only question I have is who won the match. The story was that Bray Wyatt, the original Bray Wyatt, was the character there. He fought Braun. There was a back and forth, and there was a spot where they were in the swamp, and Bray was trying to get out of the water, but he couldn't get out of the water. So the Fiend keeps the Bray character subdued. So you have Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, and you have the Fiend, and then you don't get the other Bray Wyatt. But the Fiend emerged at the end. So does that mean he's the Universal Champion, or what?
I think you can't leave your audience this befuddled, and then you can't make a joke of the Fiend for this many months and flip a switch and expect people to take him seriously again. It's just
really
man,
ruined that story.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they've ruined a lot of goodwill with the Fiend, man. Bray Wyatt built that up from the ground up, planted that little seed, and it grew into a great big forest. And then WWE's came chopping down the trees, and it's now they want you to pay attention. Then I didn't want to pay attention again. It's hard, man. Bray Wyatt's been on and off so much. It's it's hard to take him seriously. Even if he does win at SummerSlam, it's
was his character destroyed when Goldberg took the title off of him? Is that when he officially died?
I don't know.
Man, yeah.
Not exactly sure. I just read what Cage Side analyzed it as. The guy that analyzed Extreme Rules for Cage Side gave it a B. I gave it an F. I don't know why he liked it. He said it was really good. I mean, you had that match. You had Ziggler lose to McIntyre. You knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Somehow, Cesaro and Nakamura won the tag titles, but that was a cool spot when they put.
It was a tables match, right?
Yeah, they put Kofi through two tables at once. They were stacked on top of each other. That was cool.
Yeah.
The Asuka Sasha finish was bad. The match was good, and then the finish was just head scratching. And I think they just did it so they could get a ratings pop on Raw because they have a rematch on Monday, in which the winner will be the champ. No one won.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. So the ending was Bayley put on a referee shirt and counted to 3, and she somehow wins. Even though she's just sitting on the sideline.
That's exactly
that's Bobby the Brain Heenan putting on a referee jersey and counting 3. It's what? Or Paul Heyman doing it.
I mean that definitely adds controversy, right? That's some
It just makes no
creative
sense,
shenanigans.
man. It's like
No, for sure it doesn't make sense, but it just kind of would anger Asuka, and then of course she's got to get the belt back because rightfully she never lost it, right?
but why does she have to get the belt back, man? Why can't she just get the belt? Because like this is invalid. You're just making up your own rules.
we need a storyline because we have such a limited roster that we have
Do
to.
they have a limited roster? They're
No,
like a
they
$4 billion company with like
They don't.
200 people on the roster. And if you cut it in half, they still have 100 people. It's more than AEW and Impact combined, probably. So it's like, I mean, I don't know, man. This goes back to the start of the pandemic. Is like, I want to cut WWE some slack, but you have a writers' room of 20 people. You have great minds and Vince McMahon and Triple H in the business working your things. You had Paul Heyman, you had Bruce Pritchard, all these people of experience. You have all the writers. You have a stacked roster. Like, you really should be putting on a good show, despite having no fans, despite being in a pandemic, despite losing people now and again. Like, look, I mean, damn, still looks back.
We can't use Vince McMahon's creative mind anymore.
That's true.
I was watching
more hampering than.
I was watching the last ride. It was I guess Undertaker didn't wrestle at WrestleMania the last time there was fans. So last year, I didn't even notice that. I don't even remember that. I thought he was there, but he was in the back talking to Vince, and he's like, "I should be out there." And I don't know if Vince was saying, like, I think he was just talking about a possible match, and his idea was he was like, all right, so I got the guy, and the guy's going to be the son of the Giant González. I don't even know if you guys watched WWE when Giant González was around.
Wait, was he joking when he said this?
No, I'm pretty sure he was serious.
No.
Oh, man, it happened so fast, and it takes like, nah. He was like, I don't got enough in me for that. That was his off year, I want to say, that happened.
That was the year when Becky Lynch headlined WrestleMania, right?
Yeah. It was either that or it was like in between, because that documentary just goes through like all of his last matches, and then like every match is just bad. So he's like, no, I got to come back again. I got to come back again. So Goldberg almost killed me. I got to come back again.
It's got to be Taker versus Sting, and then they both walk away into the sunset.
He might walk away this time, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know, man. WWE is throwing so much cash at them. Not only WWE, but Saudi Arabia, because they love their old school wrestlers out there. So let's give a $10 million check to WWE and say, hey, get Taker on this card. Get Taker versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H and Kane or whatever.
They almost killed Shawn Michaels when he did that moonsault and he landed on his head.
Oh, man.
That match was bad, too. That's all that documentary is just these matches are bad because we missed this spot or this happened, or in the Lesnar match, I guess he was concussed. That was a good match, but I didn't know he fought that match. Like, he doesn't even know how that match ended. He doesn't remember
WrestleMania 30 match, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness. And Vince is just milking it. Vince wants the rating, so he's like, you can wrestle till you're 75.
Did he say? He really said all this stuff with his straight face?
No, but I'm pretty sure he was thinking it, man.
Oh man.
He's a wily old coot. He doesn't care.
Son of Giant González. Are you high, Vince?
I heard him say it, and I was like, I know he's joking, right? That's got to be like.
Darren, were you on a gummy trip when that happened? You sure you heard that correctly?
No, he said that. If you watch, he says it. They're in the back. They're in Gorilla, or they're in the back. Right. And they're talking, and he just says, "It's the Giant González's son." I'm like, no.
Name the episode right there, man. Like, there's nothing to talk about the next 20 minutes.
I think that was his first WrestleMania opponent. I think.
It was one or Jake Roberts, right?
Yeah, it was one of those two.
He wrestled Jimmy Snuka too, and
he wrestled Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, and then Jake Roberts is the one where he like did the the tombstone pile driver like on the outside, and like literally Jake Roberts' head is like not even, it's like literally 3 foot off the ground. Hey, what the hell?
Oh man!
What the hell? Oh no!
Yeah, who knows what Jake was going through during that time?
Crazy.
Oh man!
I'm so paranoid that I'm gonna Skype out. That's why I've been like primarily silent this whole episode.
you seem to be good.
I'm so paranoid that like Because it's happened. I'll talk for about a minute, and then you guys stop like moving, and then everything just freaks out. So I'm, trying to uh-oh. Yeah, I'm just a wreck, man. I got like two headsets on, one for microphone,
I was like, wait a minute.
one for earphone. Like I'm just falling apart. I'm not contributing jack dingus to this conversation.
Oh man, I want to talk about Red Dead, man. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Game is great. There's so much to do. So, you got to eat regularly. If not, you get underweight, then you get hurt. Your beard grows, your hair grows.
What?
You got to oh man, you got to craft items. You got to find actually, here's something cool. So when you set up camp and you eat, you have to eat sustenance to keep your health up or whatever. You can make recipes. So if you have a mint leaf and then stringy meat, you could be like, oh, I could put these two things together and then it does this effect for me.
The spearmint steak.
Right? I don't know, some weird stuff. You got to go fishing and there's just so much. You have to, in the hunting aspect of it, you can't just blast. You can't just shoot a rabbit 500 times and then, get its pelt. You have to see what grade of pelt the animal is. So there's 1, 2, 3 stars. And then depending on where you hit it, you can either get a perfect pelt, a good pelt, or a poor pelt. So if you're bad with your shots, you won't make as much money from your hunting. But if you have good shots, or if you hit the animal right in the heart or the head, then you get perfect pelts. So it's
is there an overarching storyline to all this, or just a guy in the West?
It takes place before the first Red Dead, so it
cool.
fills in a lot of holes. Yeah, it fills in a lot of holes. So you're a part of John Marston's gang, and it's they incorporate pieces of of course the first Red Dead. So part of the map you start out with. So the last part of the game that you play in Red Dead 1 is one of the first areas that you start Red Dead 2 in.
Huh.
So it's pretty rad, but you have a camp that you stay at, and you have to go hunting, and you have to donate money to the camp. You can get upgrades for the camp, ammo, provisions. You have to bring food to the camp people, so that way they your camp can stay alive, and it's pretty crazy, man. There's just so much to do. But the missions are just like any other, Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead. You have the little people on the blip or the map, and then you go to that person and start the mission, and then that leads to another mission, leads to another thing. So eventually, but yeah, it's pretty cool. You can go plant hunting, go dinosaur bone hunting. There's dinosaur bones all over the place that you gotta find. So that's a random side mission.
Wait. Dinosaur bones?
Yeah, you gotta find dinosaur bones hidden throughout the map. You find a stranger and she's
think there's dinosaurs in this world?
No, there's no dinosaurs, just the bones.
Have to become a Turok crossover.
Yeah, right. But game is crazy, and I hear the online play is a totally different map, and so yeah, it's pretty crazy. Super fun game. I'm definitely gonna be rotting my brain probably a little bit later.
Nice.
Right, but yeah, so you've been listening to Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Obviously, we're on iTunes now, right? I'm falling apart, man. Can't do this. I just can't hang right now. We're on Podbean, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place, but definitely subscribe, and then that way you'll get these shows delivered to your podcast inbox or wherever. And I don't really have anything else to say. I haven't been catching up with wrestling. I have no idea what's going on. Didn't even know Extreme Rules happened. Didn't even know there was a Swamp Thing match. No idea. Yeah, I don't know. Swamp match, Gator Roll match. I didn't even know Heath Slater left WWE and is a part of Impact. There's so much of this. Well, I knew that, but I didn't know he went to Impact. Right? I didn't know all these people went to Impact. It's crazy.
Yeah, they went big and signed a bunch of people. We'll see how that pans out. Yeah, right? We have a chance.
Will Kanye West go to Impact?
Oh man, Kanye West needs to go. He needs to go somewhere. He needs to go somewhere. That guy.
This new album better be hot, man. If he's
is it going to be a gospel album, or is it going to be a normal album? Is he still a born again Christian, or is he back to Yeezy, or is this Kanye West, The Life of Pablo, which is his best album since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? I said what I said.
Is this like ODB when he became Big Baby Jesus and then went back to being ODB?
He hasn't changed his name. He's just gone really off the charts with the rants, and then
Has he deleted all his stuff? Because I think it was a Monday night where he was just like,
I don't think so.
Kim Kardashian is trying to like take away my kids, and
I mean,
whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, there's like he basically was airing out his own dirty laundry to the world. Like he was tweeting all of his arguments with his wife and his mother-in-law, Chris.
Doing like screenshots of like their text messages.
Right. It's just like there's like a message. It's like, yo, Chris, it's Ye. Are you ready to talk now? I'm trying to do my best Ye impersonation. And then it's like the movie. Everybody knows the movie Get Out was about me. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, keep that stuff in house. Like those should be arguments you should be having at home. Like we can't help you. We can't stop if your wife is actually trying to get you committed. We can't. There's nothing we can do to stop that. You know what I mean? I don't know how she's still. I don't know. I mean, they're still married. You know, so she obviously cares about him. They also have like 4 children together. So, and then he's just going ham. He's still running for president, I think, too.
Yeah, it says, "Hi guys, please sign up to put me on the ballot in South Carolina in these locations." And
so he'll be like Ross Perot, kind of.
Sure, man. Yeah, and then like 2 days ago, he says, "I'm going to focus on my music now." Then yesterday, he released that video of Dave Chappelle.
That was good. It wasn't even that funny. It was like short.
What was that about, man?
Dave went and saw him. He's at his ranch in Wyoming. Dave went to check on him, and he's like, Dave, do something funny. And Dave's like, I don't know. I just came to check on you, bro. And he's like, nah, man. He's like, come on, Dave. Like, you got to do something to make me laugh and tell a joke. And he I don't know. Dave said something. He didn't really tell a joke. He's just like, I'm just making sure that you can good. And then
like, what else happened in that video?
That was really it. And then at the end, they go back to a clip of Dave saying that when you say someone's crazy, it's wrong. You just don't understand them. But Kanye he said some wild things. This is the man that said George Bush doesn't like black people way back in like 2004. 405.
That seems like it's really tame compared to whatever the last 16 years, man. Like doesn't even like get a blip on my radar anymore.
I'm gonna let you finish with Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? That was him.
Yeah, that was weird, man. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's out there. He is out there. I have in these notes something about Naomi. What's up with Naomi?
I guess give Naomi a chance was trending on Twitter, and like everyone like Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks was supporting her, and I guess Naomi lost to Lana in like a minute by roll up on Friday night.
Did you say Lana or
Lana?
She lost to Lana.
Yeah,
or Lacey Evans.
Oh, it might have been Lacey Evans. You're right. It was some blonde Vanille that Vince McMahon probably likes.
Naomi's been the women's champ of SmackDown like twice.
That's true.
Right?
Man.
I mean,
I don't know, but and then like Booker T was saying like no one deserves a chance. You just kind of like work for what you get, and you get what you get. I don't know. So then Sasha Banks and Naomi were attacking Booker T on Twitter, and yeah.
I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? You kind of get picked to get your spot. When you get your spot, not your dog spot, but your push. You know, like, and then you just fade into oblivion. Like, I mean. That's how it goes. Like, I'm trying to think of people like, well, Kofi Kingston. I mean, 11 years, and then you get a 6-month title run, and then boom. I mean, Jinder Mahal. I know that was awful, but it happened, and then boom.
Dolph Ziggler, Carmella. I guess you could probably
say. Mella. Like, what happened to Mella? Like, I liked her. I don't even know if she's at TV anymore. Is she there? Is she still on SmackDown?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea, man. Yeah. It's like I think it's a problem. Yeah, WWE's like they build up these stars and they don't have like they can get people to the top of the mountain, but they can't figure out how to get people back down to it. Like get back down to a deeper. There's like no middle ground. Either you're at the top of the mountain or you're way at the bottom. I think that's a problem. Like Naomi's been to the top of the mountain, like you said, twice, but in between that, like
Nothing,
man. Yeah, there's no like middle ground, and like she could be a star, and if you build someone up to be a champion, you should be able to keep them at a certain level. And they just had people like fall through the cracks too much, and I think that's frustrating to fans, and I guess it looks like the performers as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it happens all the time. Like EC3 he never even got pushed, but
he had one big match, which was his debut match, was the North American Championship.
That was it.
Adam Cole, Ricochet, EC3. I forgot who else was in that match, but that seemed like the only good match I can think he ever did.
I think that's all he did.
Yeah,
that was the only match he had.
He fought Dean Ambrose, and that was when I was like, all right, this is the EC3 build, and then that was it. And I guess he did go out and say that he was trying to pitch this EC3 that we have now. Or he didn't want to pitch it to WWE because he didn't want them to ruin it. So he just kept it until he was released, and then he started doing the little videos he's been doing. Already getting heat.
I knew it was bad for when EC3 when he brought up the main roster, and their idea was he would play a character who does not speak.
What?
That was part of the Dean Ambrose thing. Is Dean Ambrose like Alexa Bliss? The part of the thing was like every time he'd go to speak or get the mic, like something would cut off or something would happen. And they did that for like 3 or 4 weeks. And then he had that match, like you said, but
that happened for 4 weeks. I thought it was like one episode.
Did that, yeah. He'd have like a big response, and like something would happen. He'd get cut off. He'd get run in, and they go to commercial break. It's like, are you serious? That's probably his strongest attribute, and like you play a riff on that. It's like, what are you?
Yeah, grossly mishandled. But hey, Impact scooping him up. So Impact could potentially be an actual formidable promotion.
It's bittersweet, man, because like you wanted him to get out of that Impact pond because you felt like he was big enough. He's too big of a fish for that, and then now he's back in that pond. But like you said, maybe he can grow the pond.
Right. Everybody's swimming in the same pond, right? Everybody's got the same constraints. So we'll see what happens. But we got maybe a minute or two left. Final thoughts. What do you guys think?
All let Theron do is he's so great at getting the notes we missed in terms of the wrestling news. But I would say Chad Gable, man, another guy who didn't get a shout. I saw him on pro wrestling Twitter. People were saying if he was like in New Japan, he'd be like this all like world like super popular dude and super popular on the internet. But he's stuck in WWE, so he probably will never get that opportunity until his contract runs out if he chooses not to resign. So he was one of the. I'm like, yeah, that's right, man. American Alpha and him in NXT, like, yeah, he could have been super popular.
He shouldn't resign. I watched it was Survivor Series from like 4 years ago, I guess. It was interesting to see the characters that were in. It was like Dean Ambrose was there. It was a time that this was when the Shield wasn't a thing. Rollins was there, Reigns was there, Ambrose was on SmackDown. They did like the triple bar. Well, they were gonna do it, I think, and then it got stopped. But he was there. Chad Gable, he was a member of American Alpha. They were a tag team. They were good. And then obviously the other guy got hurt, Jason Jordan. I forgot his name.
Kurt Angle's son.
But I don't even think that the Chad Gable, the character they've made him, I'd hate to say the name, Shorty G, I don't even think he's getting a lot of TV time right now. I think he had a little feud with Sheamus when Sheamus came back, and then that was it. Other than that, I mean, there could be a new Nation of Domination forming, maybe. Farouk was there. MVP's got a little stable. It's like him, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. It'll probably be stupid.
That's the problem. I love that idea on paper, but I just don't trust WWE to execute it well. That's like what EC is starting. You can give a good idea to WWE, but then they'll ruin it. Like a Nation Domination reboot sounds cool, but
it does.
I wish it wasn't in WWE.
Could you put Rick? And then, yeah, I mean, they just make my head hurt. You got Ricochet and Cedric Alexander as a tag team. That probably won't amount to anything, and those guys are both really talented, especially Ricochet.
Yeah, man.
That's all I
Ricochet. If Ricochet was in the AEW, what would he be doing?
Yeah,
so
right.
much more.
Yeah.
It made Kerry Sane say, "I screw it, I quit. I'm not. I'm just gonna go back to Japan, be with my husband. I don't even want to wrestle anymore." So,
Yeah.
she just came out. She just came around like 4 years ago.
Yeah, man. Didn't she win the not the Mae Young Classic? Yeah, Mae Young Classic. Didn't she win that over Shayna Baszler?
She beat Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Oh,
Baszler's
wow.
back on TV, I guess.
That's
so.
true. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I think we were complaining about Baszler, so yeah, she's back. So
Yeah.
sure, thank you Triple H, or thank you Paul for listening to our podcast and then responding accordingly.
Yeah. Not
All
Paul
right,
Heyman.
fair
Though.
enough.
I think he got fired from all creative duties. I guess.
Shoot. All right, Tommy. Final thoughts.
I had too much thoughts this episode, man.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully next episode won't be so Skypey, and I'll hope to have my microphone back so that way I can not be doing this two microphone setup. I was looking at the desktop and I was like, oh shoot, like it's old school desktop, dude. It has one plug-in for microphone, another plug-in for headphones, and I was like, shoot, well, these headphones also have a microphone, but there's two different inputs, so I got to use two different headsets to get this to work. So just piecing it together. Those are my final thoughts. You get creative within your constraints. If there's a lesson to be learned, you get creative in constraints. But you're listening to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Share the show with a friend. Thanks for listening.
Elbow drop your friends, people.
Oh.
Watch out for those unmarked vans.
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez.
Wait, what?